FM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sacktown Sports.
Let's go, baby! It's time for the Return of the Empire podcast. 1 hour of all things red and gold. Return of the Empire. Here are your hosts, Sacktown Sports 49ers insider Amil Fragoso and Nate Littlefield.
We're back. Amil Fragoso, Nate Littlefield. If my expression on the camera looks blank, it's because it is. That's the face I had Monday night at Levi's watching that debacle that was the Christmas night game between the Niners and Ravens. 33-19 was the final score in favor of the visiting Ravens. The Niners' first loss in 6 weeks since the team's bye, week 9. Nate Littlefield, of course, is joining me. Nate's in a somewhat better mood. Now, I'm still upset about it, but not as dire. Kyle Ledbetter, of course, joining us in the background there as a producer. Love that man. Nate, it's in 48 hours. And I know this loss feels very heavy right now, especially considering the playoff implications, the MVP odds, all that great stuff. Where is your headspace at right now with the Niners?
Where is it at right now? Well, when it happened, I was pretty, the word I described was butthurt. I was just like emotionally.
You were
sad.
I was sad.
It's just, you got to win out now. So that's the issue that we're facing. It's not fun to lose a game like that. It's not fun to watch all your guys get hurt this late in the season. I know it's nothing critical. Not a lot of positives. The positives, I guess, being you turn the ball over, 3 times in the first half? 4, was it 4 in the first half?
It was, I believe,
5 by the end.
3 in the first half, 5 total.
Yeah. So, you're still in it. You're down by 4 at halftime, and that's cool. You're like, all right, let's see what happens. I really think the only horrible interception was the first one. Yeah. The other 2 were good plays by the defense. I had a talk with Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins today. I produced their show, and Alan's like, do you think those were flukes? I don't think they're flukes. I think they're tips, and a tip, is like a 30%, 40% of being intercepted, right? So they created those plays. The Ravens created those plays. They took advantage of Brock's height. 6-foot guy, 6'1", whatever, turns the ball over, and it just happens. It just wasn't going the Niners' way.
Yeah,
it was at first with the safety. I've said this a couple times now. I thought the biggest storyline to take away from that game was going to be the safety in the beginning, where the referee got in the way, and it didn't help that the camera cut to him after, and he's smiling and laughing about it. It is funny. It's a funny situation, but people are going to take that the wrong way.
Yeah.
And people are going to be upset. I kind of thought the Ravens got screwed there a little bit.
Yeah.
Chris Watkins had a good argument about it. He was like, yeah, it's, Lamar probably shouldn't be back 25 yards behind. Like, it's hard to blame.
He ran away from Fred Warner.
I don't even know where the ball was snapped, but I think it was like the 20.
Like at the 20. He just sprinted around and somehow found the back of the end zone, and then fell over the ref.
It didn't even look like he really. I mean, it looked like he hit him, is what I meant to say. It looked like he did, but if you kind of look in slow mo, I don't know if he did. He got in the way. Whatever. That was
no. He definitely got tripped by the ref.
It was man.
He didn't have to throw the ball though.
Yeah.
Well, otherwise it would have been a sack.
I think
in the end zone.
The tips
it still was going to be a safety, didn't it?
Yeah. The tips for Brock, man, it happens. I don't care about all this, this Cam Newton stuff that's been going on now, because we haven't been here for 2 weeks, so we didn't even talk about this.
I know.
Cam Newton called out Brock Purdy and like Tua and stuff, whatever, and he was all mad.
So Micah Parsons.
Micah.
It's been a long day.
That dude makes no sense.
Which Debo also pulled the receipts on Cam Newton and tried to expose him.
Yeah, he said he's texting him.
Oh, he pulled up the text and posted them.
Yeah. Oh, he pulled up the text?
Oh, yeah, he did.
That's very funny.
Yeah, and it's in Cam Newton speak where he has the little apostrophes over the letters and stuff. So it looks like Cam Newton texting.
Talking about Brock Purdy.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's how we pronounce it.
It's a whole thing. He goes, "Yo, Debo, it's Cam. I'm trying to have you on the pod the next few weeks. Hit me back, Ace Boogie."
Ace Boogie, huh?
Ace Boogie. And Debo replies, "Who's this?" He never his number, and it just kind of goes with that for the rest of the way.
Okay. All right. Well, regardless, you got Cam Newton tweeting during the game. You got Micah Parsons tweeting during the game.
The Micah thing was
and
weird.
so Cam, like, there's people responding. I hate that I'm in this group of people, like as a fan. Like, there's people that are just take it way too far.
Mm-hmm.
And like care so much, and even like memes and stuff. I just don't think any of that stuff is fun or funny. I genuinely don't enjoy it either way. If it's being made at someone else's expense or at obviously at my expense, I'm not going to enjoy that. But like either way, it's just not fun for me. I don't have Twitter. I'm not in that world. I'm like off Reddit and everything. X, whatever. See, that's exactly.
Don't be that person.
I mean, sorry. Continue.
You have people after the game, fans and stuff being like, Tom Brady had 4 interception games. Joe Montana had multiple. Cam Newton has had 2 4-interception games. And it's like, sure, man, whatever.
It's all irrelevant right now.
Who cares, dude?
Yeah.
Who cares? That's not what's happening right now. This is a what have you done for me now league.
Yes.
And right now, Brock Purdy didn't look too good, but everything about his demeanor, like nothing. My opinion on Brock hasn't changed.
Nothing changed.
I think he's still growing.
Yeah.
And we're watching it happen.
Which, by the way, happy birthday, Brock. Turned 24 years old today. Now officially older than myself, who's 23. So Brock is older for now, like 3 more months, and then I'll become the same age. But Brock Purdy, 24 years old. We forget that Brock Purdy is a 24-year-old quarterback in the NFL. He's going to have these hiccups. He's not perfect.
So get him out of the way, Brock, if you're listening, which you probably are.
I think he did. Get him out of the way.
I think so. I think they were the corner for the Ravens. I'm blanking on his name. Brandon Stevens, yes, called Brock a
Marlon Humphrey called.
No, this was Stevens.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure. Called Brock a position thrower or a spot thrower, where he throws to his spots. And that first interception. Spot throwing is like timing. I hope this isn't the new game manager term, but I think it is a great way to describe him.
It is.
He throws to his spots.
He does.
The hard part is finding out where those spots are in the defense. And the first throw the Ravens did. I mean, I don't think he saw the safety.
He did not.
Which is fine. I mean, I think that goes into the height thing too.
Mm-hmm.
You got your big linemen in front of you. You got safeties all over. You're in the red zone. It's harder to see.
He was feeling himself after that 56-yarder.
Yeah, so it's fine. That was fine after that. I wasn't devastated. I'm like, all right, let's get back into it. Let's go.
I gotta ask them. The Niners have been so successful in the opening drive this season, either getting a field goal or touchdown in most games.
Yeah, I think only one time.
I believe so. I believe you're correct. I have to look back at the stats.
Turnover.
When they have that opening turnover, like, does that cause for concern? Like, oh, they didn't get out to that early lead. Oh, that's a problem. I mean, there's the history and the statistics with Kyle Shanahan when they're behind and trailing.
Yep. I don't get too worried yet. I think there's a case to be made. I think if someone wanted to argue with me about it, I'm here to listen for it.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't seen the comeback win yet. We've seen them get down by 10, I think, at the most.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. That's not a big hole. These guys, they try not to take their foot off the pedal.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried about it yet. I really, really, really want to see them get the 1 seed. I think fatigue is a major issue for this team right now.
Yes.
I think when you're watching Fred Warner miss tackles 2 weeks in a row, you're like, all right, these guys are getting tired. This is not where they want to be physically. I think they're right mentally. I think mentally everything's there. And now you're seeing injuries too, which I think these injuries
of injuries
a part of fatigue as well. So we'll obviously get into this in the last segment, but previewing next week, it's no joke, no messing around, going on the road. And then you got the Rams at home. And the Rams at home, something I've been worried about for about half the season now. I kind of thought the Rams were going to get back on track, and here they are. So
yeah, no, it's
they're going to want to kill the Niners. They're going to want to kill them.
But the Niners are also going to want to kill the Rams. It's vice versa.
I feel like the Rams are going to be out for more blood, like they have more to prove.
And the Rams are fighting for playoff position right now.
So they could get knocked out.
The Niners are also vying for that number one. They have to win out now. There's no more gap. There's no more safety cushion.
You're more desperate to make the playoffs than you are for positioning in the playoffs.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean?
That's fair.
So, and then I mean, Stafford's great. I've talked about how good I think their receiving core is. And their coaching is phenomenal, and they have an okay defense.
They're decent
as far as I know.
They got some performers.
But
they still got Aaron Donald.
Still got old man Donald.
Yep.
So I don't know. The Christmas Day, it just sucked. It just felt so long. It felt like such a long game, and Sam Darnold coming into the end was, he just started slinging it immediately. His throws are either great or horrible.
There's no in between.
They're great or horrible.
There's really no in between.
He took a sack late in the game on third down. Should not have done that.
Yep.
It's
Darnold experience, threw a pick at the end. It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, the pick at the end I didn't think was as bad because he had to throw. I mean, whatever.
He just had to throw that thing, yeah.
But taking that sack, I think, was the worst thing he did.
Yeah.
And it would have been a nightmare if he would have won that game. Well, and then we would have had to do the Brock Purdy because you cut to the footage. If you're watching, you didn't watch the broadcast, so you probably don't know this. If you're watching the broadcast, they cut to Shanahan and Brock talking behind the card. And you could see Brock nodding, being like, all right.
I win.
This is when Sam's in. After Brock steps out.
Oh, I was watching this.
Brock steps out, Sam comes in, and then once Brock gets out of the medical tent and goes to check with Shanahan, they have a pretty decent enough conversation for the camera crew to cut away and cut back. They're still talking. And Brock's looked like he was accepting what Shanahan was saying. There was no argument. There was no anger or anything.
Yeah.
Shanahan looked like he was being like, all right, listen, everyone's banged up. We're keeping Trent out. Trent's probably going to be fine. I'll let you tell that story in a minute.
Yep.
But we're just going to rock with this. We don't feel like we're probably going to win this one. So just take a seat.
Yeah. And that's how that went. So I actually know exactly what you're talking about. I watched that conversation go down from the press box. Here's what happened. Brock Purdy went out in the third quarter with a stinger and then went to the medical tent, came back, and wanted to go back into the game. At that time, Sam Darnold had come in and had thrown a touchdown and was doing well. And at that point, Kyle and Brock came to talk to each other, and they were talking for a long, long while. Brock expressed his desire to want to go back in. Kyle said, no, we are banged up. We want to make sure, obviously, long-term goals are more important than short-term. We're probably going to lose this game as it is. We're going to ride it with Sam. We're going to ride it with the hot hand right now. Brock understood it and went and took a seat on the bench. So nothing in terms of overall performance per se. It was that Brock was more so he got banged up with that stinger second week with the stinger, and they wanted to preserve long-term, so especially with Trent out and that offensive line banged up because they were down to literally Spencer Burford playing right tackle. That's how bad that got.
Yeah,
so
injuries were brutal.
What you saw on TV was pretty much the same thing as what we saw from the press box. And it was a disciplinary, not really disciplinary. It was more of like, hey,
definitely not discipline. I don't think
we're gonna ride with Sam.
Yeah, that's not that's hey, this has nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
this isn't a confidence thing. So I hope all is good with that. It's shaky when you got a young quarterback in there. He can just kind of. You don't know if he's going to get rattled or not. What's going to happen? You don't know if he's going to start seeing ghosts like Sam Darnold. So
I mean, they saw the ghosts of Ravens pass in this game. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what is with the Ravens and the Niners. The Niners don't like playing them. And Lamar Jackson against NFC teams is now 21-1. That's a crazy record for the probably MVP of this league this year.
Yeah. Yeah. An MVP, MVP. I'm going to say, I believe I've been saying on this show, I don't really care about the MVP a lot. It's fun. It's fun to watch.
McCaffrey can still win it.
And I think that would be more cool for me personally, and maybe all Niners.
Kyle's shaking his head back there. It's possible. Anything is possible.
I think it would be cool to see that. I'd be stoked. So I think Ravens have a pretty easy game. Well, they got Miami, right? And then one more Steelers.
Yes, Steelers. Yes.
So
they should beat the Steelers. The Miami game's a tough one. They should probably win that game because Miami is not a cold weather team.
That game is now for the one seed now that Kansas City lost.
We're going to see, I guess, what's up with that. MVP, whatever. It was fun while it lasted is what I wrote in the notes. It's we're kind of up against it here, but I really need to hear this injury rundown from you in the next segment. We're going to stay live on YouTube during the breaks.
We are. And before we get to the injuries, though, we have some breaking news Niners-wise, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. We'll get to that after the break here. Return of the Empire. Amil Fergoso, Nate Littlefield, Kyle Ledbetter. Back in just a moment.
Alrighty, we're live on YouTube.
YouTube!
A lot of you guys here today.
Rockin', Mega, Manny, Jess, AJ, MC. Man, all you are here. This is fantastic.
Rockin', I appreciate you telling other people too. You're the man.
Yeah, you guys all are
AJ,
the man.
what's up? MC,
And the woman.
Legends.
Yeah, Jess, what's up? Everybody. It's cool you got Megadeth. It's cool you guys are in here.
Yeah.
Since you guys are
I
the super
appreciate
fans,
it.
also subscribe to our podcast feed. It's available. It's
do.
out there.
Yeah, but if you're listening live, I mean.
No, but we still want the
We
download.
we appreciate the downloads. Yeah, Rockin' just put in the chat. I will reveal it. The surprise Pro Football Fame is Patrick Willis. He has been named as a finalist, one of the 15 finalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the third year in a row. Is this the year?
Yeah,
Nate. That's what we're gonna discuss.
Oh, that
this.
Pat. Yeah,
Pat makes it.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it now. Can we get 20 likes? That's it. We're
20
at 15.
likes.
We're at 15.
Oh, we'll do that.
20
People will
likes.
come through
20
for
be
us.
cool.
Anyway, if you guys have any questions, please put them in the chat. We will answer them during the show / during the breaks, whenever we get to
I
them.
got a random question for the show. How long is this break, Kyle?
We got 2 more minutes.
Okay. Am I the only person that doesn't watch a special Christmas thing on Christmas Day? Can you guys let me know in the chat?
The what?
Do you
No.
like people watch like Christmas movies specifically on like go out of their way to watch a certain movie?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a whole thing where NBC,
Like in the chat, let me know. Too.
yeah, like NBC specifically opted out of a football game to put like Christmas broadcasts on.
That's
or something
fair.
Like
I mean,
that.
that's
They declined football?
No, I'm saying like NBC. The reason why that game was exclusively on Peacock on Saturdays was because NBC didn't want the Christmas Eve or Christmas Day game, essentially. So they moved their broadcast to Saturday.
Huh. Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean
yeah.
that's makes sense. I mean, Peacock sucks though. I'll say that. We're not sponsored.
So you didn't watch Bills and Chargers
I
exclusively?
did.
On Peacock?
I don't have it. I was at a family member's house, Kayla's uncle, diehard 49ers fan too. Shout out Uncle Steve, by the way, if he's listening. I don't think he is.
He's not one of
But,
the 22 people on YouTube.
They were all asking me about the show because they're all super Niners fans. So
But yeah, no,
cool.
I don't go out of my way to watch Christmas type. Like I saw that the
home killer,
the Jim Carrey the Jim Carrey Grinch movie was on Christmas, and I just kind of blew past it. Like it's not really my thing. Home Alone was on. Like they do put Christmas specific movies on.
I don't know. I haven't really been in the holiday
Thanks, AJ.
spirit all year, all season. Unfortunately, I've just been so locked in with Niners and football that even because they have a Christmas game, I was like, I'm not. Like I did the Christmas thing with Mom on Monday morning, and that was kind of it. Like for an hour, and then I was like, I gotta go. I gotta get ready to go to the game. So
the crumble. Honestly, I don't think we're getting crumble today, but I am getting picked up. I mean, it'd be cool. I think actually Kayla's bringing me dumplings.
Oh,
she's
that's
picking
sweet.
me up.
is she?
You got
Kayla's
10 seconds.
Kayla's
Yeah.
the best.
I didn't even think to offer you guys some.
It's okay.
That's okay.
Deals with approved credit.
Appreciate
Hurry
the
to Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters for over 30 years.
Super nice. It's funny seeing pro athletes, like especially football players, like the bigger positions, size wise, thin down. It's weird to see that. You're like, oh, Pat, you're
Like how much slimmer is he than when he
his
played?
face looked like you could see his bone structure, not like unhealthy.
Okay, careful. Now.
Not unhealthy, like he was very defined, like he didn't need that extra muscle mass on top of him. So that was cool. I also met Trey Lance too over the summer, and I said, hey Trey, could you do me a favor and win me a Super Bowl? So maybe him getting traded away was his gift to me to win me a Super Bowl. Maybe that's what he meant.
Look
This
at
was like
you.
early summer. So
Did you really say that, Trey Lance?
I swear I said
Oh
that to
my
Trey
gosh.
Lance. I said, "Hey Trey, will you please win me a Super Bowl?"
What'd you say?
He just smiled at me, laughed, and I just walked away. That's all I said.
That's
They weren't
awesome.
answering football questions, so I
I
just
think
said that.
so.
Yeah, because it was at Eric Armstead's
Charity event.
charity event, which
Shout out Eric.
he's the man. Dude.
Eric's the man.
Do you want to mention? You think his injury might be a little?
Let's do this now. Yeah, let's do the injury report. So the Niners had a walkthrough today. Wednesday is no longer really a practice. It's more of a walkthrough because of how banged up they are. It's how late it is in the season. They're just kind of going through the motions on Wednesday. Thursday is their big practice day. And this week there were a lot of unfortunate injuries, including this week on the DMP list. Wide receiver Jawan Jennings had a concussion, still in the concussion protocol. Aaron Banks re-aggravated his toe injury.
Dude, yeah.
He is DMP. And the offensive lineman Jalen Moore, their backup tackle, has a concussion in the protocol as well. And then Eric Armstead, of course, has a foot injury and has not played for a few weeks and has not practiced in a while as well. And then the newest one, which I didn't expect at all, Jair Brown has a knee sprain and is looking very unlikely to play this week against the Commanders.
That's crazy. So crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to play safety.
It's going to be one of Logan Ryan or Isaiah Oliver.
Or you just run cover one with one safety and have.
I don't think that's a good idea after what happened with Deshaun Gibson last week.
Yeah.
Respectfully, back-to-back penalties
I mean,
is not what you want.
They
Yeah.
are playing Jacoby Brissett.
Who apparently has been better than Sam Howell, which I don't expect, but you never know.
Jacoby's not that bad. But I'm looking at the Niners official transactions on their website.
Yes.
No mention of the Il Manning release.
Yeah, no mention of it, really.
But he was released by the Niners.
He was,
correct?
yes.
Like, this has to be it. Maybe it's just not updated yet, but it has to be a formal announcement. So it just, I don't know what's up with that. But so they have signed Joseph Day. They brought Matt Pryor back.
They also
right?
signed offensive lineman Sebastian Gutierrez. He is on the practice squad instead of Ilum Manning. Willie Snead also back on the practice squad after one game elevation.
Yeah, he's bad.
Willie Snead?
Yes.
He's a locker room guy.
Yeah,
he's a locker room guy.
He's bad.
Willie had his
I'll
career.
take Ronnie Bell all day. Yeah, but right now it's like
He's a locker room guy in
It's
that
rough.
he has a locker in the room.
yeah,
Correct.
So all that though, bunch of messy, just bunch of in and outs with the Niners roster. Danny Gray, though, a name we have not heard or who has not seen a second of action.
He's been
this year.
healthy for a few weeks now, coming back from that AC shoulder sprain. They have not wanted to activate him.
Why? Because of a roster spot situation?
Because of a roster situation. They've had enough wide receivers, and now they're kind of banged up. And Danny Gray, unfortunately, has kind of gotten the doghouse treatment a little bit this year and last year because he's not a great blocker. He's great at all the other, but he's not great at the overall game that the Niners need in the run game, which is kind of why Danny Gray has not gotten activated off of IR until today. His practice window got open, so it is possible he can play again this season.
Well, speaking of returning and returning kicks, special teams.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm blanking.
Ray
so
McLeod?
Yes. Why did I blank on Ray Ray's name? I'm so
I can see
sorry.
where you were going with it.
Yeah. Ray. He should be back not this week, but next, right? So
Yes, he has been one more game with
he's
the
got
rib
one more-
injury.
yeah.
He will be back.
Okay. Ribs are so weird because I'm starting to get a little worried about Ronnie Bell in the return game. He's getting a little sloppy with his hands.
He's been sloppy for a few weeks now.
That could be devastating.
As little Kyle
Niners
Williams
fans,
throwback.
yes. That is the last time the Niners have lost a home playoff game too.
Yeah, I know.
Was that I didn't even realize that till the broadcast said that. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, so man, just a tough Christmas. It was,
and a
Christmas.
tough injury slate going in on
Yeah.
a short week on the road to Washington, a team that aren't laying down according to Ron Rivera, but they're also the worst pass defense in the NFL. There is some good injury news though, Nate. Trent
Okay.
Williams was limited today, which is a great sign with that groin injury.
Tell everyone the story you told me
What do you mean?
about seeing Trent in the locker room.
Oh, yeah. So Trent Williams, this is from reporters. I was not in the locker room at the time. This is from other reporters
okay.
I've talked to. Trent Williams declined a post-game interview, group interview with any reporters, but he did tell Nick Wagner of ESPN, he did say, I know you, and also told Eric Branch as well, the Chronicle. He said, I know you want to ask me about the injury. I'm all right. I'll be fine. I'm all right. And lo and behold, for Trent to practice Wednesday, which is usually his veteran rest day, is a very good sign for Trent Williams' availability moving forward for this week.
Yeah. So Brock's totally fine, right? It's weird he's got
Yes.
stingers to his left shoulder twice.
Yeah, it's again, you just get hit in the funny bone in the wrong spot, and it kind of, your
Just
arm's on
weird.
fire initially, and then you're good.
Just weird. So
I know, I get it. People are worried that stinger is more than just a stinger.
yeah. O-line banged up pretty much everywhere. Who else you got for us banged up on the O-line?
That's really what I have on the O-line is
That's
just,
pretty much
Aaron Banks and Jalen Moore, the guys that did not practice, and Trent Williams.
Jalen Moore's concussion, correct?
Correct, yes. And Juwan Jennings, the concussion being still in the protocol, not progressing. It's very serious, this concussion, it seems. Concussions are head injuries. They're case to case.
I didn't even see it when it happened.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
None of us really know what play it happened on. It's just that Juwan has made progress, but wasn't able to make enough to be cleared for Monday, and now is still a DNP. That was not a good sign for his availability going into Sunday. They might rest him for one more game.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the right thing to do because you want to watch out for these guys, obviously, with head injuries. And then, obviously, Ambry Tom's hamstring injury. He was limited today. Javon Hargrave hamstring limited. Oren Burks knee limited. And then Deebo Samuel has a neck sprain.
Yeah, because he got in a car crash, basically, and just stood the guy up.
Yeah,
that
he
was
did.
Insane. Dude, it was like a brick wall. That was the hardest hit I've seen Deebo take and bounce. I didn't understand that.
Yeah.
It's too bad it was at a sucky part in the game.
Yeah. Deebo's fine.
Because it was wild that dude, I don't understand the physics of it.
Yeah.
How do you smash into him and he just goes dunk and just keeps going?
Deebo's got a wide
Should have
body,
been it was like a 12-yard turnaround. It should have been like a 6-yard loss, ended up being like a 6-yard gain.
Deebo's a Ram truck back there, man.
Yeah.
He is built forward. He's built tough.
You just used two different car analogies.
Did I? It's okay. We're just doing great things over here.
Shout out to Rockin' in the chat. It says Trent Williams and Chase
definitely gonna show up.
Are gonna show up. I think Chase Young is going to.
It's a revenge game for both those guys. Trent does not like playing the Commanders, obviously, with the history. Chase has a little bit to prove against them for trading away both him and Montez Sweat, who's been killing it in Chicago, by the way. They are not very good, and they kind of made that.
I love
move.
the stat that Montez Sweat is probably going to be the first player in NFL history to lead two teams in sacks in the same season.
I love that, too.
Yeah, that's weird.
That makes me so happy.
Let's talk about this one seed.
Yeah.
Because now the Niners have to win out, essentially, to get this one. Don't have to. I mean, other things would have to happen for them not to win out. But basically, the easiest way is for them to win out.
The Lions are right there with them at 11-4.
But if they tie with the Lions are currently 2 games back in the conference. They're 7-3 in the NFC.
Mm-hmm.
That rhymed.
The
Niners are 9-1.
Yep.
So, therefore,
and the Lions have a much tougher schedule too.
Yeah, they do. They got Dallas.
They got Dallas.
It's almost like you want Dallas to beat them.
I mean, you kind of do, I think.
Yeah.
I think if you're a Niner fan, you kind of do want Dallas to beat them.
That's back-to-back fraud bowls.
It really is.
Dallas, Miami, Dallas, Detroit.
A lot of fraud.
And Dallas, Buffalo the week before.
Yeah, lots of frauds going on right now. And then the Lions had the Vikings in the last week of the season, which is no cakewalk either.
It's just I mean, the Eagles, are they getting it back together? Do you think they barely beat the Giants?
I don't think any Eagle fan is feeling very optimistic about barely beating the New York Giants with Tyrod Taylor.
No.
I'm just being honest. Like, let's be real here. The Giants were literally downing the ball away from having a shot at the end zone late there.
Yeah.
With a second to go.
Would you take Tampa over Philly in a wild card game?
No,
I can't.
I think I would.
No, I don't think I can get there.
The Niners did beat Philly worse than they beat.
Watch out for that Cowboys-Tampa game, though. That's going to be the 4-5 probably.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess the Eagles would have to lose again.
And I don't know if they are. I did tell Kyle Draper last week that I don't think the Eagles are going to win out, but
I don't know. They're playing the Cardinals this week, and that's I can't even fake that one.
The Eagles just don't look good. They look like a team that doesn't like to play with each other, and that's the problem. Is that you don't have that team chemistry.
Let's rank Detroit, Dallas, and Philly right now. Which 3 were you the most when it comes to the Niners getting the 1 seed?
Like most worried about? Like who's gonna
give me a tier list here? Number 1 being the most you're worried about.
Start bench cut, but for teams.
Not really.
Detroit number 1.
Detroit gives you the most worry.
Really?
Yeah. Detroit 1.
2 weeks ago, I would have been like, nope.
Yeah, Detroit 1. Dallas 2. Eagles 3.
Eagles 3? I think Eagles are 2, especially because of the schedule.
No, I
think Eagles have a case for 1.
I'm going to call it right now. I think the Eagles lose week 18 to the Giants.
So, Nate, you think that the Dallas Cowboys are 3?
I think there's a better chance of Philly getting the 1 seed than Dallas.
Oh, to get the 1 seed.
Yeah, that's what I'm
because
saying.
Yeah,
This
maybe
is
you're
what the
right.
tier list is. Yeah,
Maybe I should move it because they are 10-5. So I'll give
Yeah.
you that. Maybe you're right.
that's
Maybe you're right.
I thought it was who they should be afraid of in the playoffs.
no, that's not what
Okay.
I'm saying.
To get the 1 seed, I
No.
think the only team that can is the Eagles, realistically.
No, I mean realistically, Dallas and Detroit both can.
They both could.
But wouldn't that require the Niners to lose multiple games?
Just one.
Niners need to lose one.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, just one because Dallas is, I guess, I mean, not even a game
They
and a
have
half
the
back. They're a
tiebreaker
game
over them,
back.
so-
Yeah.
But yeah, isn't the first tiebreaker head to head?
Dallas is kind of out of it. It's more so Philly and
Well, the I'm not
and
saying
Detroit.
the Niners are a guaranteed win out. Like, especially after this week with all the injuries and everything. I think that's a key factor.
Are you
in
not
this
feeling
one seed.
confident against the commies?
No. I mean, they should beat them, like, no doubt, but I'm not like they're going, it's a lock or anything.
You would have
like
felt that way a week ago.
Yes, I would have. They were healthy a week ago.
They were kind of healthy.
They were healthy and they were I mean, they're fatigued, they're tired, but this especially the secondary being beaten up in the O-line, like the O-line, it's brutal. So I think Brissett has a chance of having a pretty decent game here.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, are the Commanders trying to win?
I don't know.
Organizationally or the team?
Just in general, I don't know what they're
Ron
trying
Rivera
to do.
is not tanking.
No, but that entire coaching
Ron's-
staff is going to get fired.
You think Bieniemy's gone too?
Yeah, why the new head coach?
I think Bieniemy's going to be the new head coach.
Well, okay, that's
The enemy's
still-
going back to KC.
What a weird
Very Matt Patricia in New England kind of thing.
Yeah, what a weird we're not happy about it, but we're staying together for the children situation with Bieniemy in Kansas City.
Yeah, it really is.
It's so weird he didn't get a job sooner.
Well,
that
there's a
was
lot
a-
of conspiracy theories about that. I'm not
Well,
gonna get
yeah,
into
I mean, so
Yeah,
they
that
are
doesn't make sense.
they already fired the defensive coordinator, Jack Del Rio.
it, as they should.
The new ownership group is probably going to fire the general manager
When
too.
did Del Rio get the axe?
Mid-season, like
I want to say after the Thanksgiving game.
yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, well, it's not even fair because they had a fire sale with their defense too. So they're like, okay, everyone's gone. See ya, Jack.
I love how the GM just said, "I'm going to trade everyone. I'm going to be gone anyway."
Yeah, it's
Yeah, so they're going to clean house in that sense, but I don't think it's super hard to gauge the effort levels of teams that are already eliminated from the playoffs.
It really is.
Like even like sports books have a really hard time figuring out what's going to happen when it's teams who are knocked out of the playoffs.
There's a lot of wishy-washy. They call it the Vegas zone. There's a lot of -1.5s this year. You don't see a lot of -1.5s, and there's been a lot of we really don't know what's going to happen in this game. And the Niners have been kind of the most consistent of we know what's going to happen in this game. And unfortunately, last week proved that maybe they're not so consistent.
they're still 13.5 favorites over Washington.
Because it's
Last
the
time I
Commanders. They're
checked.
the 4-11.
Let's take a little peek at that.
You have
actually.
to beat the Commanders even on the road, even banged up. You got to beat the Commanders. They are the worst pass defense in the NFL. The worst.
You just hit on the point. All of this is dressed around the best passing offense in the NFL against the worst passing defense in the NFL.
Correct. And their run defense isn't much better. They're 18th.
Yeah, they are really bad this year.
They're sucky, to put it lightly.
put it lightly,
real
they stink.
They're going to
They
have the
stink.
4th pick in the draft.
And they're going to take a left tackle, which they should.
Okay. I can't really complain about that. That's fair.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
they'll
well,
trade down.
I mean, O-line is such a
They're all
opposite
like,
of a
well, Sam
commodity.
Howell, I think, has broken the record for most sacks in a season.
Yeah, but
It's like
that's
44
sacks.
or something.
Sacks are a blend between quarterback and offensive line stat.
Sure, but I think it doesn't help when you have Charles Leno Jr. playing left tackle for you. Respectfully.
Dude, don't disrespect Leno like that.
I think his
That's my
name is
guy.
Leno.
Dude,
Is it
no,
Leno? I
it's
don't know.
Leno, bro.
I call him
He
Leno.
leans with it.
He leans with it.
Yeah, dude, Leno's sick.
Samuel Cosme isn't doing it for you.
No, I'm not a big Samuel Cosme guy. I'm sorry.
Was Jay Leno your favorite Tonight Show host?
No,
Oh, okay.
no.
Just wondering.
It was Jimmy Fallon.
Fall on. Anyways, who scares you the most in the AFC besides Baltimore for the Niners? Potential Super Bowl
Browns.
matchup. Browns?
The Browns.
Really?
Yeah, the Browns.
That would be wild if the Browns
mean,
were in the Super
Flacco-
Bowl.
Because elite quarterback Joe Flacco going into January, man.
Flacco got him in a Super Bowl once.
39 and still cooking. I mean, this guy, I cannot believe that the Cleveland Browns are as good as they are with Joe Flacco under center, without Nick Chubb for almost the entire season. And they're still able to put up point after point after point.
And both of their tackles are out, and their best guard is out.
They're so banged up. Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year candidate, 100%.
Which is why your answer is probably incorrect about the Browns being dangerous in the playoffs.
Maybe so, but the Niners are also 1-3 against the AFC North this year. And that's been their kryptonite all years in the AFC North. I do not, your Niners, want to see the AFC North in the Super Bowl if you get there. I'm just being honest with you. I'd so much rather see the Dolphins. Much rather see the Bills.
Because the Dolphins' defense is terrible.
I mean, they fly around. They got Vic Fangio. He's a good coordinator.
You know, it's not really like that. But I'm curious to see what direction they end up going there because
I don't want to see smash mouth football for the Niners. I don't want to have an out physical game for them because they get out physical by these AFC teams.
Especially the AFC North.
Yeah, who are the most physical of the bunch.
Yeah, I mean, no one regards Kansas City as physical.
And just like Rocket says in the chat, Jim Schwartz owns Kyle Shanahan.
So, that's such a weird thing, but it's true.
It's so true.
So weird.
Lamar Jackson, 21-1 against NFC teams.
Anyways.
You don't want to see the AFC North in Super Bowl. I'm just saying that.
We got to go to break now. We're going to preview Washington coming up.
I'm angry.
I mean, we got a little early on little Washington talk. I didn't think this would rile us up so much.
I'm mad.
He's mad.
I'm mad.
All because of Leno Jr.
Because of Leno Jr.
I have to use the restroom during this break.
Okay, well then I'll carry the ship.
Okay.
Anyways, like
we'll be live in the YouTube
we'll be live
chat.
in the YouTube chat. Return of the Empire. Nate Littlefield has to go to the restroom. I'll be back talking with you all shortly. And goodbye.
The only place you'll find Harrison Barnes is Sacktown Sports.
We're back. Hi, chat. That was a wild break.
That was a wild way for us to
Nate
get
just threw me for a loop just now.
Yeah, I know. I was going and I was like, I mean, I would tell him this, but he's not on microphone. But I was just like, me and you were having the conversation right there about AFC teams. I'm like, Nate, you gonna jump in here? You gonna jump in?
Yeah. Nate's like, I gotta go to the restroom.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah, man. And the chat says Nate's gotta go fart real quick. The chat's talking about farting for some reason. The chat's been really funny tonight.
Real classy chat we have here.
Nate has to crack a rat. Jesus,
love this. There's a lot of you guys here. Can we just say,
shout out the chat today, man?
I think it's in part because I put up the link last night to Return of the Empire, so people knew it was coming if they saw any program today.
I'm glad.
Yeah, you guys.
We should do that more. We got large thing says Jimmy Farton. I like that. Jimmy said Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Farton.
Yeah, I'm more of a Coonan O'Brien guy. That's my favorite.
That's a danger. Careful now.
Oh, is this? Oh, you're saying like the Steve Kerr's son thing? That was what you're doing right there?
Yeah, I heard the wrong word there. Be careful there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Understand what I'm saying?
No, I know, but it's like the don't say Steve Kerr's son thing. It's like you're playing a dangerous game if you're close to the line.
You are playing a dangerous game with Steve Kerr's son.
Yeah.
Nate Littlefield is back after cracking a rat.
Yeah. That was very fun.
That's what the chat's talking about right now. You cracked a rat.
Oh, I had to go fart real quick.
See, Jess said careful, kids.
That's fair. Emil's accusing me of saying racial slurs now. That's what you missed.
Dang, which one? Which one?
Don't say Steve Kerr's son. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm back from farting.
No, that's.
Oh, Steve. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Don't say that one.
All right.
Well,
right.
we were making fart jokes, and
I made a Conan O'Brien joke by adjusting the Leno thing you were doing, and so
he had an extra O to cone.
It's fine.
Just they're gonna move past it.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a little too complex for my little tiny little pea.
We didn't really talk about the Pro Football Hall of Fame stuff, but Patrick Willis didn't make it.
I mean, there's not. I mean,
we even list who made it though. We didn't even do the finalists.
That's fine. This is a Niners podcast.
It's a
Willis,
gassy chat.
I'm getting gaslighted right now.
You're gaslighting me.
Yeah, man.
This is ridiculous.
Hey, please hit like on the thing. Please
hit like, subscribe.
Just get me to 20.
Get a match.
That's it.
20.
Are we at 20?
We're at 4.
No,
Likes?
refresh it. We're at 19.
19.
Oh, are we?
Cameron. I know that's you, Cameron. Like it. Cameron, like.
Oh, we're at 20.
We hit 20. Thank
you want more in 2024, simply text digital to 916-766-5105.
Welcome back to the Return of the Empire podcast
with Amil Fregoso and Nate Littlefield.
Yeah, that's us. We're back. Amil Fregoso, Nate Littlefield, Return of the Empire. Making a lot of jokes today in the chat. talking about cracking a rat and all this weird stuff going on. If you're not in the YouTube chat, we have a great time. We got 20 likes. We got 20 people watching. We thank all of you. Tyler, Jess, Cameron, Rockin'.
Handsome. Someone called me
Mega.
handsome.
I mean, everyone in the chat, we love so much. And we love all of you listening as well over the airwaves. However you are listening to Return to the Empire every single week here on Sacktown Sports. It's time to talk Week 17. Because the Niners have a job this week. It's not going to be easy. Short week. We're having across the country. Going to a familiar place for the Shanahans in Washington. It's not a good team, I know. I get it.
They got bad blood, the Shanahans in Washington.
And so is a few players, a la Chase Young and Trent Williams.
Isn't it weird that all the players hate Washington?
I mean,
pretty much.
I mean, we
went over
that list during the offseason of worst NFL franchises ranked by the players, and they were at the bottom.
Wasn't Arizona right there?
Arizona was the worst, I think.
Washington was worse.
Washington was worse.
No, Arizona made their players pay for lunch.
Arizona had an F-.
Yeah, Arizona finished worse than the team that reused jock straps in the 2000s and the team that moved to another city because their owner was so cheap.
Well, reused without washing.
Yes,
that's
very much like Disneyland. You know, they do that at Disneyland. Yeah. Well, I guess for a long time they weren't. You know, like the costumes that people wear there.
Oh,
like the Mickey Mouse costumes.
They weren't washing them.
No, and that would spread certain diseases.
That's nasty.
What?
Yeah, that was
an issue.
Anyways, Washington. It's a big mission for the 49ers. Some might call it Oceans 4 and 11.
What?
Oh, that's
get it. Oceans
Kyle.
11, 4 and 11.
You should put that in your type 5 tonight at Yuck Yucks.
Sure. Washington.
Jacoby Brissett is going to go off tonight.
If you haven't heard, Jacoby Brissett has been named the starter for the Washington Commanders the rest of the way. Sam Howell has been benched. They are trying to win games for some reason. I don't know why. They're 4-11. They're not very good. They're the worst passing defense in the NFL. And yet, should there be? Because I'm concerned for the 49ers on a short week, banged up, going across country, Nate.
Yes, 100%. Yes.
Yeah.
There should be worry. When do they fly out? Do you know?
It's Friday.
Friday. Yeah, I think the big thing here is fatigue and injuries, and I think they go hand in hand with each other. I think that's going to be the X factor for this team. Brock is going to have to get back on track, and I have no reason to doubt that he won't. I think he's definitely going to get back on track,
especially against the worst passing defense in the NFL.
I think it's a great, for lack of a better term, get back game. Right before the Rams. Before the Rams in the final game of the season, which is going to be in San Francisco, which is cool, but I guess it doesn't really matter where they play the Rams.
Yeah, I know. Levi's South or actual Levi's is the same kind of thing, obviously.
Same deal. So,
they might play better at Levi's South.
Hopefully, I'll be there with you, actually.
Hopefully, I'm going to talk with Niners PR tomorrow when I go down there about that.
We can do maybe a little live show on the field, pregame or something.
That'd be fun.
On Instagram.
That'd be fun.
YouTube,
if we get there early enough,
I'll do it. Yeah. I'll get there.
Because the Wi-Fi gets a little tricky towards.
It does. It gets bad there.
It gets really bad.
But you know what's cool about now we're going off tangent. But when I was there post training camp, I went for a game earlier in the year with my cousin.
You did?
Got to use the press Wi-Fi.
Look at you.
As a civilian.
It's nice, isn't it?
So that's cool.
Yeah.
So I feel important.
You got the press Wi-Fi still hooked up?
Yeah, I got a bunch of free food too. I think we talked about this when Kyle went to his Cardinals game this year. So the food was good. Oh,
you're gonna if you get to go week 17, you're gonna be like, man, this is living large.
Better than the Kings.
Oh, it's
the Kings. How
about this? They bring out different courses per quarter.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So it's a 4-course meal.
Who gets to be on the field? Who gets to be on the field during the game?
During the game,
you have to have separate press for that, right?
Only photog and people who work the field during
That's
the game.
What I thought.
No reporter does.
Yeah, reporters are in the booth.
I would probably get you a pre. I'll probably get you a pre, and that's kind of what they'll give me is a pre-game field access.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no post. They're really stingy about post.
Sorry.
Anyways, we diverted talking about week 17. It's week 18. It's week 17. It's week 17. Going the Commanders.
Now, yeah.
And the Commanders have not put out their injury report yet, which feels like a red flag. They haven't put out their injury report yet. It's not made available yet. But
when do they have to get it out by?
It should be now.
Oh,
because I'm looking at the Commanders website. They have the Niners injury report, but not their own.
Washington doesn't play by your rules.
No, they don't. They don't play by anybody's rules, apparently. But yeah, the Commanders coming off a loss of their own. I mean, what's new? They lose a lot of games, but what if there is a worrisome thing. They almost came back in their recently. They almost came back, I believe, against the New York Jets. 30-28 was the score. I mean, they showed some life, but if there was a worrisome part of the Commanders for you, what would it be, Nate?
Just playing for just desperation.
Yeah,
just desperation play.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty much the
scary Terry
late in the season. Yeah, I've heard stories about players and coaches who have had basically a horrible team one year.
Mm-hmm.
They know there's talent. They know there's stuff in the right place that maybe other people don't see, and they maybe win a couple games at the end of the season, and that carries over in the next season. And like, look at Detroit this year.
Yeah, I know
that was kind of the case, right?
They had that 7-game win streak in the last season.
They almost snuck into the playoffs.
I know, if not for some other trickery.
Feels like that's happening with Chicago right now too.
Yeah, no,
shout out Chicago. Shout out the Bears.
Next year,
they're in a real tricky dilemma right now. Do they keep Fields? Do they not?
I think they should.
They
definitely should.
I think they should.
But,
they have the
Caleb's just
first
sitting
pick
there.
That means they're trading down from number 1 again,
which might be a good thing because they get more picks.
Yes, but how many picks do you need?
They've done a good job building their roster defensively the last few times, and so I think Ryan Poles is the GM right now, right? He's doing a great job for them. Some semblance of decency.
Oh, dang it! I forgot to bring this up when we were recapping last week.
Oh gosh,
I wanted to talk about time of possession. This is my soapbox every week. I love talking about time of possession.
Nate, you have the con.
I have the con. Great. Shout out Con Man. He's just my friend. His name's Con. Anyways, time of possession was almost split 50-50. Niners, 28 minutes, 46 seconds. Baltimore, 31 minutes, 14 seconds. Did not feel like that during the game. I think the last chunk of the game was basically garbage time for the Niners, and they gave them time with the ball that just didn't really matter. Like, Baltimore was like, sure, take the ball, run the clock out. The time of possession for the Ravens was dominated over the Niners. The defense cannot be on the field for as long as they were. When you turn the ball over 5 times, it's just like you can't win a game like that. When you're turning it over in their red zone, they get the ball and they score next play, like Lamar threw that touchdown. That's unacceptable. The Niners almost had 100 more total yards than Baltimore. 429 to 343. That's insane. 21 first downs to 23 against Baltimore. That is the tale of turnover. That's why they lost the game. That's why they lost to Baltimore. And if they want to win the Super Bowl, if they want to beat easy teams, they don't turn the ball over. That has not been the case all year. They have not turned the ball over very much. They were plus 13, number 1 in the NFL coming into that game. Couldn't tell you where they are right now. Should have checked. It doesn't really matter. They're probably plus 9. I don't think they did not get a turnover in that game against Baltimore. So the tail of the tape doesn't tell you everything when it comes to time of possession, but the time of possession that mattered in the critical points in the game, it did not go to the Niners' way. So the defense cannot be on the field the whole game. They cannot be backed up against the end zone the whole game. It's not going to fly, especially against a guy like Lamar who can move as much and as well as he does. That's it. I mean, that wasn't
well done. Well done.
Kyle Shanahan reiterated some of those points in about 20 seconds too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, that was a good soapbox.
Defense really.
And I'll back it up by saying I have a friend of mine who is a Baltimore Ravens fan. He was at the game and having a great time, unfortunately. And he told me before the game, he goes, the only way the Ravens win this game is if they control the tempo of the game and make the Niners play to their time. And yes, the Ravens had about 2.5 minutes more only in possession, but the Ravens really controlled the tempo of that game from halfway through the first quarter on. After the safety, they kind of really controlled that game and really made them play to their level and to their standard. And that's kind of what's happened there, is that the Niners got out of their rhythm, got out of their tempo, and before you knew it, the Ravens were up 16-12 at half, and it felt like it was a much more discouraging game.
Yeah, it felt disgusting. It felt so bad, but I was trying to stay positive and be like, all right, still in it. They got a chance to beat the best team in the NFL right now. I'd say by halftime they were What are you guys smirking about? You guys are like up to something.
Nothing. The chat's going crazy.
What's wrong with the chat?
The chat's going crazy right now.
The chat's fine. Ignore the chat. We got a show to do.
I'm listening.
We got a show to do. We're talking about the 49ers, not the chat.
I'm listening.
Chat's for the breaks.
We're talking about time of possession.
We're talking about time of possession here. Okay.
The chat. Cameron's going nuts.
Just ignore the chat. Okay.
Respect to Cameron.
It's not for the chat.
So the Niners have to control the time of possession against the Commanders.
Completely.
Here's the point. The Niners have to control the time of possession versus the Commanders. They have to control it on the road. They have to play to their game. And you know what needs to happen, Nate?
What?
This is my soapbox. Kyle Shanahan, run the dang ball to start the game. Stop throwing 5 pass plays in a row.
They're a passing team now.
No, they're not. They're a run-first offense. They always have been. They always will be. When they establish the run game, everything else falls into place. Get McCaffrey going, everything else gets going because McCaffrey can do everything on the field. He can run, he can catch. Damn, he can throw the football for Pete's sake.
Maybe Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to be like you, Dad. Maybe he wants to change his offense.
Maybe he should call up his dad. Hey, Mike, what should we do? Run the dang football.
Yeah, I don't want advice from Mike. Alan Stiles said people were coming at him with the theory that Shanahan was trying to hide plays in the playbook. I don't buy that for a second. Niners fans, I guess, were saying that.
What?
I didn't see the proof, but Alan was saying Niners fans said, "Oh, Shanahan didn't want to show all his cards, so he kept his."
Kyle
playbook.
scripts the first 15, 20.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that's an excuse some people are making.
They've run plays. They didn't even put in the install. They've run plays in games. It's sometimes that's never the plan to just run 5 pass plays in a row, but yet somehow Kyle gets into this deviation all the time of like, I'm just going to work with what's hot. And then they get overzealous sometimes, and Brock throws that pick.
So to that exact same point, how much does it change if that pick by Hamilton in the end zone turns into a field goal? Does that change?
It changes everything. The Niners have to score on the opening drive for them. It's been the whole thing all year. A field goal or a touchdown. And really a touchdown is what they need there. They cannot let those things happen against the teams like the Ravens.
That's a fair
they
point.
They have to take advantage every time. They got a safety out of Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And the Niners offense, what do? Stumble out of the block. Can't get anything going. And sure, you want to say it's unfortunate. It's bad luck. They made great plays. They were better than you. That's where we're at right now with the Niners. They got their ass kicked at home against a Ravens team that haunted them for many years ago.
I like Nate's rant better.
I'm hot right now. Nate, where are you at?
I'm just ready to move on from this. I said before the week, like, it's not a must-win game. You know, it'd be nice. It's just the way they lost. And I know we're supposed to be freaking talking about next week, but this one's stung. So it's going to be stuck in my head for a little bit. I think we got to see them kind of turn things around. The injuries, like I said, are worrying me. The run thing is fine. I do think the pass, I think it's switching where instead of the run game opening up the pass game, I think the pass game is opening up the run game now, but it's really, really hard to run and pass for that matter when all your linemen are gone.
Yeah.
And when you're behind.
Yeah, they had a lot of injuries too.
So,
which is worrisome. But against the Commanders, who are literally the middle of the pack run defense and the worst pass defense, you have to get something going, right?
Compared to the Ravens, the best defense in the NFL.
Correct. With the most healthy defense, though, too.
And the best.
I mean, the Niners, when they're healthy, they were fantastic all season.
You could just say the Ravens are the best right now. That's fine. I don't care about the power rankings, whatever. It's fun when the Niners are on top. It's fun when everyone's saying nice things about him and stuff, and Cam Newton saying dumb things. Like, that's fun, whatever. That's cool. But it's just an irritating loss. It sucks it was on Christmas. It sucks
it ruined everyone's
how
Christmas.
they lost. So I don't know if it ruined everyone's Christmas.
Anyway,
I was pretty sad. Predictions, Niners, Washington.
Yeah.
Favored by 13.5. That's almost 2 touchdowns. That's wild.
They don't want you to tease this game.
No.
They do not.
I'm going to take Washington covering the spread.
Okay.
So the Niners winning 30-20.
I like that a lot, actually. I have the Niners winning 27-17.
Yeah. Megadeth in the chat saying it just stung so much because of who it was, and, the timing, all that stuff. So, yeah, just got to
beat them in the bowl. But like I said earlier, 1-3 against AFC North teams. They don't want to see them in the bowl.
Yeah,
they don't.
Guys.
They don't.
Any of those guys, even
Cleveland, the Browns, and Joe Flacco.
No, even the Bengals with backup Browning.
They don't want to see
Sacramento
the AFC North physicals.
38-6. Yeah, drop your guesses in that. We got a 38-16. Those are fair. Like the big ones are fair. 27-17. Yeah, you know, I think 10 points is solid for the Niners. Yeah. I think that's about fine. But really, that's all I have to say this week. I mean, if you want to listen, I'll be on Styles and Watkins Friday. I'll talk some more Niners. I'll
be on the afternoon show at 4:00 doing my update on the Niners, and then obviously recap
When's
Sunday.
When's that? Friday?
Friday 4:00.
Friday 4:00.
Yeah, and then obviously recap after the game on Sunday, and then next week Return to the Empire.
List just because I have a hard time keeping track. What days are you on all the shows?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Monday is the morning show. Wednesday is the Monday is the midday. Wednesday is the morning, and Friday is the afternoon.
Okay. All right. Cool. Well, that's Return of the Empire for the week. Kind of a wild episode.
Really wild. I had a lot of
just
rants.
Kind of
sorry, America. I got a little angry.
Yeah, America. There's like 20 people listening.
Sorry, Sacramento.
Sorry, Greater Sacramento area.
Yeah, gotta go. Anyway, thank you all. Return of the Empire. Mil Fergoso, Nate Littlefield, Kyle Ledbetter. We'll be back next week. See ya.
Nice job, you guys.
Yeah.
That was very fun.
I was hot.
Yeah, the chat was awesome today.
The chat was awesome.
Shout out Sack Fart. Shout out Counter Strike.
We were laughing at Cameron.
I love Counter Strike. Why? Because he lost his kid?
Yeah, that.
Free shark.
I couldn't believe you put that in the chat. Cameron,
Timmy.
You literally had me roll.
I assume
AJ.
Cameron is one of your friends.
Thanks, Manny.
Otherwise, that would have been one where I'm like, I feel like I have to put that person in timeout. But I assume that's one of Nate's friends.
Is Cameron one of your friends?
I don't know. Maybe.
The rants today were gold. Yeah, thanks, Rockin'.
Thanks, Rockin'.
I'm not
Tony. Tony from Australia. What's up, Tony?
Tony, you're the man.
What do you live in Brisbane?
You
live in Melbourne. Where are you at, Tony?
So
Perth.
Apparently, Amil sold it short. He said I was hot, America, but no, international. This is the
internationally
globe.
Hot.
Yeah.
Dang, that's awesome.
Nate was getting called handsome in the chat.
Yeah, Bay Area.
Nate had a really insightful rant about time of possession.
Man. Wow. How long is the flight there? Because we're in California, obviously.
Australia?
I want to go to Australia so
about
bad.
16 hours.
I was thinking it was 16 hours. Is that right, Tony?
Tony, let me know.
Yeah, Tony, let us know, man. Come on,
Tony.
This is wild. We have international people watching us.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Sorry,
16
I'm
hours.
figuring out my
Is Kayla here with your dump?
Yeah, well, I'm figuring out who to Venmo for it. I got paid.
Anyways.
Farting in Australian. Yeah, what does that sound like? Is the fart going in instead of coming out? It's like
look at this down under.
Funny.
Jesus.
That's funny stuff.
Oh my gosh, we're off the rails. Everyone in the chat, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, these are fun.
This was a lot of fun. Back. I had a great time. Nate, do you have any final thoughts before we hop off here?
I'd not be thinking too much.
Yeah, we said this off air, like when you went to the bathroom. Like I was just like, wow, that was an interesting transition. You're like, I got to go to the bathroom, so Amil just take us to break right now.
Yeah.
Don't leave until we get 30 likes. How many likes do we have?
How many likes do we have?
Cameron's hitting the dab right now.
Cameron was dabbing, bro.
Are you kidding me, bro?
Don't leave until we get
25. There's no way we get.
We're not gonna get to 30.
There's no way we're getting.
We got a 25, which I'm pretty happy about.
You have such little faith.
I have 2 minutes.
Jess, we appreciate you. Tony, we appreciate you. Danny, we appreciate you. Rockin'.
Yo, shout out Tony.
Megadeth. Manny.
Shout out to Yeah Man. Shout out Alex.
Yeah Man.
Shout out Tin. Just everybody.
I don't think Yeah Man enjoyed my rant because he said, "What's this guy yapping about?" I don't even remember, honestly. I kind of blacked out there for a second.
Well, you were crazy passionate about the fact they should run the ball during their scripted plays.
That's their whole thing is they run the football and do well.
I shouldn't have said that.
Not only do they run the ball, they run the ball left really well. They can't run to the right. They can run to the left.
Set him off. So Trent Williams, MVP of the league. That's
28%.
Yes.
28%.
Trent Williams has been the most valuable player on the offense the entire
deal.
time. It's been him and Christian
You want to get that APR number high.
What?
Yeah. I agree.
Sorry, I'm responding to the someone here wants a 2011 V6 Mustang.
In the
asking
chat?
about Cameron he lost his kids, so I think he can get a Mustang. Do you see this, Cameron?
Yeah, no, I do.
He wants a Timmy. Timmy's gone.
Man, do you guys hang out a lot? We do hang out for 10 minutes before we go home.
A lot out there.
Do you hang out a lot
before
after
the show? It's when you're here though. Everyone's like at the station. You kind of just
we hang all the time.
Are chilling with
Yeah.
kind of.
I was on air today for like 2 hours before the day. I was me, Whitey, and Phantom were just chopping it
Yeah,
up.
what was the deal with that? You just kind of like took over the show in the afternoon. You were just like,
Whitey said, if you want to come on and do it with us, you can. I said, okay.
Okay.
Phantom was cool.
Yeah, Phantom is
a cool name.
They liked having the third person on to make fun of because they called me a waffler.
Oh my God, that was
It's a
so
waffler.
good, Nate. I don't know if you were listening, but they were. Oh God, it was so good.
I had a nickname for everybody I didn't like.
It's so good. Yeah, he was like, "Look, I love the Black Falcon," and then he was like, "I love Red Velvet," and they were like, "Do you just say nicknames for the players that you don't like?" And he totally does that. He totally like.
That's funny.
His total crutch is like, if he's about to bash a player, he'll say their nickname just to kind of make it seem like he hates them less.
Yeah, I got a front load with the soft compliment before I go in hard with the critique.
Yeah, you were like, "Look, I love the Black Falcon." And we were just,
but it's time to go.
That was so funny that they called you. You totally did.
They did.
So
Look, and that's the point of talk radio is to call me out on my BS.
Yeah,
really
when you sound like a Ken doll repeating the same things over and over. That's a good crutch that I'd never thought of. I'm so glad that
I had a nickname in college. They used to call me Senior Capper because I cap a lot.
Senior, you ever been to Senior Frogs?
I have, yes.
That place is cool.
That place is cool. Nate's like, I want to go back.
No, that place is sick. I like Senior Frogs. I like the frog. How he hangs out. He's got 4 little fingers like this.
Nate's been there a while.
I have Senior Frog's shirt actually.
You really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, he's been there a minute, Nate.
I love Senior Frogs. We're actually getting Senior Frogs sponsored next week.
Oh, what?
They're going to be our sponsor.
If any one of the 19 of you who are still around know any
Kermit
connections
Mahomes.
to Senior Frogs,
Kermit Mahomes.
let us
I
know.
call him Kermit all the time, so that's definitely I definitely call him Kermit.
Kermit Mahomes.
I call him Kermit all the time.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
I gotta go too.
Thanks,
All right.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
YouTube. We'll be back
This
next
was
week.
a good one.
Appreciate you all. Bye,
Yeah, see
everyone.
you
Happy New
guys.
Year.